afternoon, everybody. We will be looking at tissues, the topic tissues and supporting tissues briefly. All living organisms are supported, and that's why they can maintain a particular shape or a particular figure. You find plants standing upright, leaves standing, open, exposed to sunlight, as if someone placed it that way. Today we'll be looking at tissues and supporting tissues, starting with animals. There are three different types of tissues that may support an individual or an organism. They could be bones. We're familiar with bones because they are common in vertebrates. There could be cartilage, like you find your elastic cartilage, your nose or your ear. You could also have them have the chitin, as you can find in most arthropods, in the outer parts, especially of insects, which you are familiar with. Today, I'm going to be talking about what's this supporting system. So we're talking about the functions of a skeleton in man. One of the things that the skeleton does is to give a shape and to give support to the animal. If you do not have a skeleton, then you are likely to be on the floor. And somebody has to pick you up to know what you really look like. Apart from that, the skeleton helps to protect some delicate organs within our body. The skull has a hole for the eye sockets. It has a cranium protecting a very delicate organ, the brain. Your ribs protect your heart and your lungs. Your pelvic girdle protects your kidneys, your delicate internal organs. Apart from this, we also have the parts that the bones play, or the skeleton plays, in breathing, in respiration. As you inhale, your ribcage moves out and up, outwards and upwards, while the diaphragm goes down, flattens. When you relax, you exhale. You have the ribcage coming back downwards and inwards, and the diaphragm coming back to its dome shape. Of course, we have manufacture of white blood cells and red blood cells within the bones. So we can see that we have a lot of things that this skeleton does for us. In fact, even our movements, our bones will not be moving alone. Muscles are attached to them, so the bones enable us to move here and there. The bones are joined to the muscles, and each bone is joined to another bone by ligaments. You have the bones joined to the muscles by tendons, while each bone is joined to another bone by ligaments. And so we avoid dislocation, and the body is able to coordinate itself in movements. Will do for you, especially in man. In man, we have a framework. We have it divided into two parts. The skeleton is endoskeleton, that is within the body, and it's made up of two parts. You have the axial skeleton and you have the appendicular skeleton. Axial and appendicular. The axial skeleton is made up of the skull, the skull, which is made up of about 20 flat bones fixed together. And of course, the joints we call sutures. The vertebral column, the neck to the tail region, depending on what kind of mammal. If it's a rabbit, if it's a cat, it has a tail. And then we have the ribs, and we have joining both sides the sternum. That's the axial skeleton. And then we have the appendicular skeleton, which is made up of limbs and girdles. In man, we have two types. We have the pectoral girdle and the pelvic girdle. The pectoral girdle is around the shoulder area. It's mainly made up of this triangular bone, which we call scapula, and the clavicle, which is otherwise called the collar bone. And it makes a hole. There's a socket in it that can allow the articulation or the fitting of the arm. Now, the pelvic girdle is around the hip region. It's a bigger structure. It's made up of 3 bones. We have the ilium, the ischium, and the pubis joined together to form a fixed structure also. Now, the limbs are actually built on a pentadactyl plan. It ends in 5 digits. We have the humerus, which is the upper part. We have the lower part, which is made up of the ulna and the radius. When you put your hand at the right angle to yourself, the radius is upper while the ulna is below. And of course, we have the carpals, 8 bones arranged in 2 rows of 4 in the wrist, followed by metacarpals and the 14 phalanges. The same thing goes for the legs or the hind limbs of mammals. Here we have a bigger and maybe stronger structure because it has to support the whole weight of the body. The humerus, which has a head that fits into the pelvic girdle. And then we have the tibia and fibula, the tarsals, the metatarsals, and the phalanges. Now, it is important to note that the bones of the vertebral column have special reasons why we are able to identify them. We look at the neck region. We have the 7 bones, the cervical vertebrae. We have the next 12. We have the thoracic, which is joined to the ribs. Then we have the lumbar, which are the heaviest and have more projections because they carry most of the parts of the body. And then we have the sacrum. We have about 5 bones fused together. And then we have the coccyx. We are aware that there's no tail in man, but the 3 to 4 bones have been fused together to form the coccyx. Each of these bones, each of these vertebrae have features that can be used to identify them. In the neck, for example, you are able to nod, you are able to rotate your head because of the presence of the atlas for nodding and your axis for rotation. We can see long neural spine in the thoracic vertebrae, allowing the articulation of the ribs. I talked about the heaviness of the lumbar vertebrae, where you have anapophysis and metapophysis, additional projections that give stability. Having said that, I will also want to make mention before we conclude this of supporting structures in plants. We also have supporting structures in plants, but they are in form of cells. We have the xylem, which some people also call wood. We have collenchyma, we have sclerenchyma, and we have parenchyma. It's important for us to note that they are in different parts of the plant, but they bring about flexibility, rigidity. That's why you see when when you have the wind blowing, the plant bends, it doesn't break. It continues that way and it becomes stabilized. Like I said, we have about 4 different types. The xylem, which is called wood, can also perform another function, which is strengthening. Apart from strengthening, it also conducts water and mineral salts through the plant. The sclerenchyma cells are dead cells. And of course, the wood or the xylem cells are also dead cells, but they are able to support the plant. We have the collenchyma cells, we have the parenchyma cells. The dead cells have lignin. We say they have lignified walls that help to strengthen them. So they ensure flexibility, they ensure rigidity, and they give strength to the plant. And so when you see the plant standing upright, it doesn't have bones, it doesn't have cartilage, it doesn't have chitin, but it has, the cells are lignified. Some have cellulose to help to strengthen them so that they are able to stand upright. Thank you.